Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre doesn't feel like a big enough main event for WrestleMania Night 1 or Night 2.
The Vision is one injury away from being dead.
That ain't no Mania match.
Sorry, that's a Mania match. It's not a Mania main event match. It's a Mania match. Are you kidding me?
Trick Williams will be the next Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Trick Williams is who LA Knight thinks he is.
He's a skyscraper, not a 3-story house.
The Women's World Championship scenes feel like an afterthought heading into WrestleMania. Good week, wrestling fans. Is Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre really a big enough main event for WrestleMania? Well, we are going to be talking about that and a lot more. I'm Ben Allison here at Wrestling Republic, and joining me today we have Clark Taylor.
What's going on?
And Shad Tawks Graps.
Salutations, everyone.
Pleasure to have you both with me today, and without further ado, let's get on to the first topic. Because Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre doesn't feel like, at least to me, like a big enough main event for WrestleMania Night 1 or Night 2. And if you add Jacob Fatu in, sure, it makes it a bit more interesting. But the fact is, we have seen this match multiple times, and Drew McIntyre over the last few years hasn't been booked like a main event star. He hasn't felt like a big deal at all. So as a fan, I don't really buy him main eventing a WrestleMania. And to me, honestly, I still think they should have done Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I think they should have done the 3-way at Elimination Chamber, had Cody Rhodes win that, then have Randy win the Chamber, and then do that match at WrestleMania. That is a match which will sell tickets for a WrestleMania which is currently struggling to sell tickets. Clark, I want to get your thoughts.
What are we doing here? At the end of the day, I mean, look, if it was post WrestleMania 36 and you've got Cody Rhodes wrestling for his ability to challenge for the AEW title and the Forbidden Door's never been opened, this would be nothing short of delightful. Too late now, kids. Come on. McIntyre has been great. I love that he won the title. Has he elevated himself to the star status that he possessed 5 years ago? Nope. Not even for a minute. He had it for a flash in the pan, but it hasn't happened yet. And now we sit back and we watch Cody Rhodes. If this isn't a route to put Jacob Fatu over, I go back to how I started this. What are we doing here?
But even then, if we put Jacob Fatu over, that's not going to sell tickets. The possibility of Jacob Fatu winning a title. Let's be real about it. Jacob Fatu has done an incredible amount in 2 years. I love the guy, but casuals still don't really know much about him, if anything. This is not something where he's been in the company for 5 to 10 years and the fans have all gotten behind him. This is not a Daniel Bryan, a Kofi Kingston situation where you have got a movement. It just isn't. So how on earth that would even really help things? I don't know. I just think it would make it a better match. But again, this is WrestleMania. It should feel more important than this.
I mean, we've discussed it on this very program. The Night 1 main event doesn't count, as we know. So CM Punk has never main evented a WrestleMania. And this could be a great curtain jerker for either night. It doesn't have to be.
It's going to have to main event Night 1. Because I'm going to talk about it later on in the show. The women are not main eventing Night 1 this year because there's no story anywhere near enough. There's realistically, there's not even a matchup which is possible right now, which is big enough for a Night 1 of WrestleMania for the women's division. And that sucks to say, but again, I'll talk about it later on. But Shad, what do you think about Cody and McIntyre?
Well, what's that? Turn around, look at what you see. Never-ending story. It's the never-ending story, bro. This joint is so stretched out. Like it's like like elastic. It's like Doll Sims' arms. Like what? Like why? Like nah, man. To your initial question. No, this does not hold any magnitude to be a main event match for a WrestleMania. It probably will be, but it's not going to sell tickets because, like you mentioned, this has been the ongoing storyline for months upon months upon months, and it's so darn stale at this point where I'm just completely lost, have zero interest. The only saving grace, if you want to intertwine these two guys together, was adding Jacob Fatu because it at least adds the level of intrigue that, you know what, there's a person that is tied with the storyline and the feud with both of these guys, and maybe, just maybe, we can get a bit of a shock, right? We can get an opportunity for Jacob Fatu to have his crowning moment. But it doesn't seem like that is the way. They could maybe go towards it because, I don't know, maybe Nick Aldis is a big wig and he can, throw him as somehow into the Mania match.
I think that's probably is what they're doing, though, as well, because otherwise Fatu has been completely screwed out of it.
Yeah, and look, man, it's just, I don't know what it is, man. It's like they can't, there's the balance beam is not even, right? Last year, it felt way heavier on the side of this title with Cody versus Cena, and then Gunther and Jey Uso felt a little bit more lacking, to say. This year, it feels heavier because you got Roman Reigns and you have CM Punk going for the other title. Now, this one feels a lot of less important, a lot less holding weight of a match. And it just feels so cut and dry, and it feels so redundant. And that's there's a lot of uninspiring booking. And you made a great point. Obviously, I think we'll talk about it in the next topic more to it. But you have a lot of level of superstars that you could have created a storyline and it could have built a night one main event, right? If I mean, no knock on Stephanie Vaquer, but if you would have had Io Sky or Rhea Ripley being the champion at this time going into Mania and then maybe having a match against each other, I think that would have held more weight being a main event compared to Cody and Drew, just because those two women are maybe bigger. Rhea's probably a bigger draw than both of those guys. Maybe she's at the same level as Cody, but I think Io is a bigger draw than Drew McIntyre by a lot.
I don't know if I'd say, I mean, to be fair, maybe. I think that would be a better story, a better match. I agree. But that's the thing as well. Last year, admittedly, Gunther Jey Uso was not a main event, a night one main event, a night two main event, whatever. But the thing was, you had Rollins, Reigns, and CM Punk. That was a main event, and that was a non-title match. This year, you're not going to have that. Yeah. Maybe, just maybe, you might have Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. But I'm going to be honest, unless a title is involved, I don't think that's a night one main event either, because the story is not strong enough. I mean, they've booked themselves into a corner here where WrestleMania feels like an afterthought. Roman Reigns and CM Punk feels like the only thought about thing heading into this entire show. Maybe El Grande Original and El Grande Americano. Those are the only two matches which feel like there's any planning going into them.
That match is not going on Mania.
I know, it's the worst part.
I mean, the thing is, I think it might. That's the situation we're in here.
That's not a AAA. What is the big show that they do?
Triple Mania. Maybe
Triple
it
Mania? Is. That might be a Triple Mania.
Not go head to head with the Collective on Friday night?
By the way, that thing is so stupid.
Don't do that.
They literally, WWE is spamming the hell out of using AI. You had him cut a promo that was it was so lame, bro. And it seems so bad.
Look, I understand. I understand the use of AI in that is meant to be a joke. They've done it with this entire El Grande Americano thing. It is meant to be part of the gimmick that they're using AI because none of it's real and it's all comedy. I understand that. Even still, I mean, look, we can put all the environmental issues aside for a second about using AI. There's a lot of problems there. But even if you want to put that all to one side, the fact of the matter is you could pay somebody to do that. And they've got the money. They could employ somebody. They could be helping the economy. They've got the money to help the economy. Are they helping the economy? No. Because somebody could be doing this.
That works there. Somebody could voice over it.
Exactly. And even with this, you could have hired an animator to animate these scenes that they're showing too. There's so many, you're literally taking money off plates of designers, off plates of translators in this situation. There's so many things they could have done and they failed to do. And they want to, I mean, that's the thing. Staying out of politics for a second, but let's be real about it. Triple H is working with, currently the government in America, and they're talking about how there needs to be more jobs and everything. Using this has taken jobs off the market, jobs off the table, and that's what doesn't sit right with me at all. So yes, I get it's comedy. I don't care. I still think it's disgraceful they're using AI.
Oh, definitely agree. But Yeah, but past that, sorry, I didn't mean to go on to pivot into that. Man, it is because I know we spoke about. Well, I spoke about it on Friday with Archie and Dez about the ticket sales aspect of it, and I think a lot of people's inkling is more so that the pricing is just absolutely crazy that they're doing, but
Yeah.
there is a percentage of it where people are just not as interested in the product as they were a few years ago. There isn't anything that's
Mm.
eye opening for people to like want to watch WrestleMania. And if I'm like ESPN right now, that has them on their platform, I mean, you're not going to possibly see the numbers of viewership compared to what was on Peacock just because their pricing is a little bit more expensive. And if it's
Yeah.
something that's not can't miss, well, some people will be like, well, I'll just catch the highlights on YouTube. I'll just, see what's going on on social media. And
They've
that's
actually changed the strategy of posting the highlights from shows now. They're missing out key segments posting them, and AEW have stopped posting them altogether, the
yeah.
long form highlights, because people were doing that instead of watching the show, so they've had to stop. And that's fascinating, but that is a bigger problem again. I mean, look, we can say the ticket sales are the issue all we want. WWE had an all hands on meeting this week across all
Mhm.
departments, and they were
Yeah.
like, well, we need to sell tickets. The ticket prices haven't
It,
come down, so they
it
clearly don't think the price is the issue. It's something else they think.
25% off they did, Ben.
No, that wasn't WWE. That was Allegiance end,
that was a
and it was
Allegiance
only for the
end.
weekend. And stadiums often run discounts around this time just for when they're that far out, just to encourage to move it a bit. But that comes off the stadium, not WWE's end.
Do you think Mania's issue is that
That
it's
would be
more
standard.
catered to casuals though? And that's where the ticket sale issue becomes a little bit more of an issue? Because like if you talk about it like okay, let's say the card has like the people that we watch regularly. Say it's like Vaquer versus Liv, and then it's like, I don't know, like let's say it's like Obafemi versus somebody, whatever it may be, guys that we follow and watch on a week to week basis, but people will be like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Stephanie Vaquer is. I don't know
Yeah.
who I don't know who
Well,
Obafemi is.
they've pushed Stephanie Vaquer way too fast. She's not ready for the situation she's in. I think she's an incredible talent. The fact is,
Or even
isn't
Drew
ready for the
McIntyre though,
position.
man. Even
Secondly,
Drew
she's not as
McIntyre
big
in
of
the
a draw. People know Drew McIntyre, but the thing is, I don't know if people care about Drew McIntyre.
yeah,
Those are two
okay.
different questions.
Fair enough. The level of care, like, because I always look at it. Everyone talks the last peak thing for WWE is Mania 40. I feel like that was the like, oh my gosh, wrestling is cool again. The Rock is here. The whole Roman Reigns aspect. A lot of that could be level of star power, but then a lot of it, like we've been talking about, the creative and the writing for the WWE has been significantly putrid, right? And I don't want to talk about other people's awards, but they were labeled the worst promotion of the year to people, right? I think that might be a little strong compared to other things, but that does show you that, okay, they had a little bit of an off year of there's a lot of fans that feel disinterested in the company as a whole creatively.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, by the way, though, if they sell out like one night of Mania? If night 2, the attendance numbers are completely different than night 1, if
Well,
there's like
most
a
tickets are only
drastic
combo
difference
this year. Most tickets are only combo because of that.
That's what I think they're afraid of. And that's why it's so funny. I'm like, could you imagine if people just didn't go to night 1? Because the other thing is, you don't have to go through the turnstile even if you bought 2 nights.
True.
And at the price
no,
point,
if you're paying those prices, you're attending if you're buying.
I don't know. At the price point that it's at, there's a certain section of the population that may be like, you know what? I bought them to go to night 2. All I want to see is that one. And don't go to night 1.
I actually feel like
don't
that's
care.
less likely the more money you charge.
I think that might exist.
I'm not worried. I'm not
people
worried
willing
about
to pay $50,000 to sit first row. They don't care.
The thing is this, I'm not entirely worried that they're gonna have a good number of people in the arena. I don't think it's gonna be like some, like, it may not sell, like, it's not selling to what the magnitude is now. But once the progression of the season goes in, maybe they lower the prices and stuff, people will start buying tickets more to it. They might not make as much profit as they are, but I don't care. It don't matter to me. they make a lot of money as it comes. But it's more so something that you got to really I feel like it's a question for like the big wigs over there, the people in TKO, and then a lot of the partnerships that they have with streaming services that are going to be like, okay, like, are we like I'm telling you, ESPN is the one for me. Like, are we making our return in this investment? Like, we expected this to be some hot product that was just gonna skyrocket our streaming service and all of that. And I don't know. I to me, my worry is, are y'all gonna sell enough like of the subscriptions to ESPN Plus? Right?
That's my issue as well.
That's
but here's the other thing,
one.
though. I think they're thinking the same, because who sponsors Stephanie McMahon's podcast? A VPN. Everyone has got Netflix because of Raw. So they're basically saying to fans, without saying it, use a VPN, watch on Netflix. The pay-per-views are on there if you set your location to somewhere outside of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I'm watching it.
I mean, I laugh. I'm I'm
not spending $30 on
the prices are brutal, and there's no doubt about that. I'm super curious as to see how this year plays out, because I definitely know a guy last year that bought tickets to 2 nights and only went to 1. Right? Like, it does exist. And
I don't think that's
I'm
happening
wondering
much. That's not going to be a factor.
If we see empty seats, that could change things drastically at a stadium of that size. Well, and then you wonder why, given the deal that they had with TKO and with WWE, that the stadium would discount prices. And I guess that may be seasonal, but WrestleMania isn't every year in Vegas. So the fact that those tickets were specifically
multiple events or at Allegiant, there's my point.
Well, and there you go. Then maybe they sell other ones too. Even then, might have something to do with wanting to make sure that you at least have enough gate to cover what it took to have WWE back again.
Maybe. I mean, they're currently 10,000. Compared to this point last year, they're 10,000 seats less sold to this same time last year. 10,000 per night, by the way, per night.
My goodness, man.
That's good. Scoop a few of those up.
But at the same time, they've still sold, what is it, like 30,000? So, it's not like they've not sold any, but it's just, it's
they
not
could
good
fill
for
the
this time of
Staples
year.
Center or crypto.
But, back to kind of what you started with, though, it doesn't feel like Mania is coming like right around the corner, truth be told. Like, they haven't done anything to have the fans as excited. And this is someone who watches every show. We do this show every week. So I have to watch everything, because end of the day, that's how you talk about everything in the pro wrestling week. And I don't know, man. I haven't felt super inspired by anything going on, man.
Fair enough. I mean, anyway, though, guys, up next, it is time to get into our takes of the week. My take of the week is the Women's World Championship scenes feel like an afterthought heading into WrestleMania. I'm going to be honest, Liv versus Stephanie McMahon and Liv versus Jade Cargill, with the stories currently presented, neither of them feel like WrestleMania-worthy matches, yet seemingly one of them is going to be. Then heading into the Elimination Chamber, I mean, if Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, any of them win it, then presumably their tag partners also going to need to work a way into that match. And there's only 60 days left until WrestleMania? That's a lot to do in very little time. So I'm presuming Tiffany Stratton's going to win that. And it's going to be Liv Morgan versus Stephanie McMahon and Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton again at WrestleMania. None of those were the stories currently told at WrestleMania matches. I'm sorry, they're not. The women's division feels better. They should be main eventing night 1 this year, and I don't think they're going to, and that breaks my heart, because this division is talented, but currently, outside of the tag team division, the writing for the world titles has been absolutely dreadful, and it doesn't do it justice, and quite frankly, I think it's insulting by WWE right now. But what do you guys think?
I agree and I slightly disagree.
Oh,
So let me start with where I agree. I do feel that both main titles feel like an afterthought at the moment for the champions. I don't think Jade Cargill has been given a fair hand as the world champion. People are
agreed.
going to criticize this woman nonstop to say, see, I told you she can't wrestle. Well, you're not giving her an opportunity to wrestle. And quite frankly, you're giving her people that aren't a threat to being a main title champion. And that's where it feels lackluster. You're the world champ, but you're having feuds with mid-card people. No disrespect to Mia Yim, no disrespect to BFAB, no disrespect to Jordan Grace, but they have not been built to be world champions. She's not mixing it up with a Charlotte Flair, with an Alexa Bliss. So to me, that's the truth. And then with Vaquer, she has had less than desirable feuds as well. You know, going against Nikki Bella, that's fine, that's cool, but we know what that is, right? Raquel Rodriguez, that one, it's similar to Jordan Grace. You know, Raquel has a trajectory to maybe be a main event woman, but she's not there yet. So I
She
agree
should have
with
won
you.
that, in my opinion, by the way. If they were doing Liv versus Raquel, then suddenly I think that could be a WrestleMania match.
You still got to protect your world champ. I think Vaquer holds a little bit more. There's a little bit more with her than Raquel at this current moment. And I did think Raquel was going to potentially win that for the story. And the tag titles feel like they're the most important titles out there. Like it's so strange, it's so odd, but like they have been booked very well. They've put a lot of people in it. Obviously, you got Nia and Lash, you got Charlotte, Alexa, and then you mentioned Rhea and Io. And I think that's kind of where a lot of the issue is the fact that you got all your main stage women, Bailey as well, right? In the tag division, and you have a lack of competition. Now, here's where I disagree with you. If there's one person that can make a Mania match, it is Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan is arguably one of the most talented superstars in all of WWE. She has a sense of storytelling and she has a sense of character work as a heel that makes you instantly want to watch it. And what her and Stephanie did this past Monday, right? When they had the little promo exchange, I was sold for it. I was actually excited to see the match because I saw a level of Stephanie where she kind of got a little bit out of her shell. She showed a little bit more of like, oh, I really don't like you. She was being able to curse her out in her native tongue and all of that. And to me, I feel like that brings a level of heel character can get the best out of any competitor. I would be sold for her and Jade as well. Because Liv to me is like embodied such strong character work, and then she's also such a great professional wrestler. So I think
understand that, but respectfully, this is WrestleMania. You don't need to be sold on a match. This needs to be your biggest match of the year.
This is a star. This is a WrestleMania level competitor, Ben.
Yes, it is. I agree. Liv Morgan should be in this spot. She should have won the Royal Rumble. She deserved that. My point is, respectfully to Stephanie Vaquer, I said it in the last topic, I'll say it again. She has been on this main roster for less than a year. She is not ready to main event a WrestleMania yet. She isn't. She easily could one day. She is not ready yet. She was put in a position maybe a little bit too early, and she's been given rubbish creative to work with. She's done a fantastic job with the little she's been given. It's no disrespect to her, but the fact is, neither Liv versus Jade or Raquel or Vaquer versus Liv Morgan.
That's a if you book it well enough, that is a Mania
yes, but
match.
they can't. There's less than 60 days left. It's not a year-long story. These aren't two blockbuster stars because they haven't told that story. It's not like they haven't faced each other in years like Roman Reigns and CM Punk, where there doesn't even need to be much of a story.
But here's the thing. This is how it's going to be forever now. Because they have the Rumble and they have Elimination Chamber. And that's how we are going to get to these title matches for Mania.
Well, that's not how it's been for the last decade, and those pay-per-views have existed for then.
So I want to start by saying, Ben, you've never been to a blockbuster in your life. So
I haven't.
Let's lead with that. You've never been to a blockbuster.
Presumption.
No way. It was a Hollywood video at best. At the end of the day, though, here's my deal with the women's title scene. I unfortunately agree with a lot of what you said. We've got two can they coexist deals going on between Raquel and Liv and between Jade and Jordan. And those are two very logical rivalries and matches. 60 days, as was mentioned earlier, is not enough time to solve this problem. And that's the unfortunate part. That's the precipice of this issue. That's where we're stuck in the mud here. And now we got to rush something on both sides of the coin. Whether it be Liv or Jade, I don't think anybody involved is like a problem or anything like that. Liv Raquel made perfect sense. I'm 100% on board with, and bless Stephanie Vaquer. This is no knock on her. Raquel should have won that title then when they had the shot. Because we already now paid off the tag team match where it's double. Can they coexist? Right? It's suddenly like, wait a minute. Can Raquel and Liv coexist better than Jordan and Jade, who just jinxed each other in a promo segment? Right? Like that's what that match was booked as. And unfortunately, I feel like it cut the legs off of two potentially really electric storylines. It was like too early because there's going to be no payoff beyond it now that Jade has wrestled Jordan in the fallout.
Jordan Grace should
Jade
never
already
be in
beat her,
bro. She's not that level.
But that's a story
she
you could have
be
told.
to that level. She isn't yet.
No,
but that's a story you could have told. The problem is now there's not enough time to tell a story, so you got to bring in star power. And I go back to Bailey being mentioned here. Where the heck is Bailey? So, like, is this still a receipt?
After abandoning a gimmick, which now
this is what I don't understand.
Sense.
Is this
Bailey
still a
never
receipt?
gets Mania matches anyways.
Is this still a receipt for Sasha Banks bringing back the return receipt on the title? Because Naomi got her good work. What are we doing with Bailey over the last 4 years? We're wasting a 4 horsewoman. It makes no sense.
At 40.
She should be in the main event picture. Makes no sense to me. I don't get it. It's not her fault.
You are right. She beat EO then. But here's the thing. This is the issue. Again, back to Shad's point. Vaquer has been given rubbish people. Not rubbish people. She's been given rubbish feuds other than that one Raquel match. So she doesn't feel legitimate. On Jade Cargill's side, it's way worse because she's literally been given nothing feud after nothing feud. And therefore, neither of the champions currently feel like big enough deals to even go into WrestleMania as champion. Now, Jade Cargill, I think because of her luck and just how she's been presented for a bit longer, I think she'd be fine too. Stephanie Vaquer, it's too early. But the fact that they've not set up proper feuds, the fact that long-term stories are continuing, Liv and Raquel, past the date they should have expired, they're not finishing at a WrestleMania. It is a disgrace. It is a disservice. And quite frankly, I think somebody needs to come in and take over the booking for this women's division because they can either book the world titles well or the tag team titles well or the mid-card titles well. It's one of the three at all times. It can't be two of the three or three of the three. And that is an issue because if they can prove they can do it for all three but at separate times, then it shows it's an attention issue. They are not giving them all enough love at once. Bring someone in and have them take over the women's booking because right now, clearly this creative team isn't capable of doing so based on the evidence we have seen in front of us. But Clark, I want to find out, what is your take of the week?
The Vision is one injury away from being dead. It's the worst case scenario here too, because I understand what we've missed with Seth Rollins going down and then Braun Breaker going down. But I swear to you, if Logan Paul or Austin Theory or Bronson Reed go down with one more injury, this is going to end badly. And it's sad to me because I believe that this calendar year was planned around a Vision-centric storyline. We had so many options. We had so many good things along the way, including Seth's return from injury, Paul Heyman's involvement, Braun Breaker's potential Braun breakout, pun intended. But what we're not going to get is the definitive ending we wanted because I swear to you, unfortunately, if anybody has a bum ankle or anything else from here on out, we are in big trouble. We can't keep adding members to the Vision once there are injuries to try to explain injuries. And it's the most cursed faction I think I've ever seen in WWE history. It breaks my heart because I believe there was a lot of good here. We're getting close to that stage where it might be time to pull the rug.
We thought the Vision were going to be the next Evolution, the next Shield. They might end up being the next Nexus. Honestly, I don't know what's happened here, and it is so disappointing.
Hold on. I never said that. I've been on the right side.
Well, yeah,
of
you've been a
over
hater
here.
from day one.
Oh,
But this
they're
isn't
not good.
this isn't
They're not a
proving
good
you right.
faction. Y'all know this, man. Why
This
are we
isn't
lying
proving
on
you
ourselves?
right. They've had 2 massive injuries which have derailed
Drink some
everything.
milk.
Drink some milk, kid. I mean,
Look,
they have had some injuries, though.
This is the honest truth of it all. People think that if Paul Heyman has his fingerprints on something, it's going to be a instant classic faction storyline, whatever it may be. We are punch love drunk off of the bloodline with that guy. Not everything he does is a success story.
A lot of it is, to be fair.
No, that's a great point. To go back, ECW, the invasion.
Well, yeah,
not paying
ECW
people.
always had.
There's quite a lot of history there with Heyman.
There was always one bad story at ECW at all times.
And look,
there's always been one.
And he's
And
amazing.
when he's been
I think
head of
Heyman's one
creative
the best of all time. But this is the thing: like, you look, the team that he assembled, you are banking 100% on 2 things: Seth and Braun feuding, and Seth ultimately getting Braun Breaker up to the level of Seth Rollins and getting to the main event scene. The moment Seth truthfully got hurt was the moment this faction went dead in the water, because you needed him to be the storyteller and you needed him to be the anchor and the main guy of it all. There's not like without him being the wire, without him being the reason, it's nothing. It's just 3 guys that are potential. Kadoosh. Braun Breaker looks like all of that. But what does it mean if he's not going against someone to it? Like, that's the whole avenue of what the problem is. The best bet would just be Heyman managing him individually and the other guys roaming and doing whatever they do. Logan Paul is being misused, and I hate to say that because I don't like him at all. But Logan Paul doing what he's doing as just a regular, what he's been doing prior to that is best bet for him. Like, that's where you use him to the most of his potential. He's the heel, he's the athletic guy, and he's a celebrity. And you could have had him feud and have a match with somebody at Mania in the upper mid-card scene and have him move up. Bronson Reed, the dude wrestled Roman Reigns and got a win over him, and he feels less important now than he did then.
No, he didn't. Okay, well,
Yes,
I'm
he
going to
does.
quickly say this, right? Bronson Reed before this year, I honestly thought after WrestleMania, I thought he might come back and he might be on the release list. I thought this dude had no future in this company. I
Again?
really thought that. The vision happened. To your point, he suddenly became a main event star over the last few months. Sure, it hasn't been that good, but the fact is his stocks have risen. So let's not bring Bronson Reed into it because he's been fine. As for Logan Paul, this guy was the same story every single time he was starting to be exposed. It was boring. He needed something new. He needed something fresh. Now, I'm not saying it's been perfect because, again, I think he could have done more in recent weeks. And at the end of the day, Braun Breaker undoubtedly has been better. The day this faction truly got hurt was not the day that Seth Rollins got injured. That hurted badly, but it was the day that Braun Breaker didn't defeat CM Punk for that world title. If Braun Breaker won that world title, then we did the story which I pitched, that CM Punk wins it back in the Elimination Chamber because of a returning Seth Rollins, bang, a triple threat match at WrestleMania. This entire year would have felt worth it. Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Austin Theory just being involved, they would have felt more important. Austin Theory so far in the vision hasn't worked. I'll agree with that. I'll eat my words. I still think it could. It's early days.
I have a quick question, Ben. Ben, when was it you got hired as a WWE Stormtrooper?
Stormtrooper?
You never watched Star Wars?
I've always watched Star Wars. I don't understand. I got arrested by a Stormtrooper once, actually,
if I'd have said E-drone, I guess if you're born after 2000.
Fun fact, by the way, for everybody watching, I was in Disneyland after WrestleMania 39. I went to the toilet, came back, didn't know where everyone was, right? So I went to call Clark. A stormtrooper comes up to me, surrounded by all these kids, arrests me, takes the phone off me, starts talking to Clark, and he like trying to play with all these kids. All the kids like, oh, what is this guy gonna say? Clark just hangs up on him. Clark wasn't playing along. He no-sold the thing.
I literally just hung up, no-sold him. I was like, Ben, I'm over here in the middle of the bit.
The stormtrooper was embarrassed.
I was like, well, I saw you by the time that I saw the phone thing, and I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with the stormtrooper on the phone. Ben, here.
But to your point though, man, it's I do agree with Clark in the aspect of if they're injury away, they're done. But I think they're cooked now. I mean, they don't have the two most important people. If Austin Theory gets hurt, they don't do nothing.
I think it's salvageable, but like again, Bronson Reed gets hurt, or Logan, or even Theory to that measure. Like you can't. The numbers game is now matters the most because you don't have the Seth Rollins star power, nor do you have even the Braun Breaker star power.
If Braun Breaker is out, these dudes aren't making Mania.
That's the scariest part.
Sorry, no, they are. It's gonna be Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins will 100% be the match for WrestleMania. 100%.
How many times did he tsunami him before he got to join the stupid club?
But yeah, I know, but Bronson Reed was the one who turned on him with Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed has beaten Roman Reigns this year. If Braun Breaker isn't available, it's either going to be a multi-man match where we do Seth Rollins, LA Knight, and whoever the masked man is, if he's somebody different, versus the three Vision members, or it's going to be Seth versus Bronson Reed.
I think maybe this is the worst time to possibly say it. But write it down here. I think the best thing you can do if Seth's available is I may have picked the wrong rematch when it comes to Mania main event, and a night one main event from the past might logically make sense as a night two main event in the future. And that's run that triple threat back from last year.
I said this on Good Morning Wrestling.
Insert Seth into it.
It wouldn't make sense. It would not make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Why wouldn't Bronson Reed enter the equation? You could do a four-way.
I couldn't agree more,
Bronson
Ben.
Reed has pinned Roman Reigns too.
It doesn't make sense, but it might make dollars.
Well, add Bronson Reed and do a four-way if you're going to be insistent on that.
Bronson Reed needs to be in the four-way. No.
Yes.
You run back the triple threat from last year, dude. Mania.
Well, you can't do that because the vision was just
doesn't make sense, but it might make dollars.
Or you could let him put him in a triple threat with Drew and Cody.
Do that too. I'm all in. He doesn't like any of them.
You've got to do something with Bronson and Seth if Braun Breaker's out. That's going to be the direction.
Honestly,
if Bronson Reed gets injured, that's when you're right, Clark.
I want Seth Rollins to return this year so badly and be like, guys, I've been working for Netflix, so I can do whatever I want now. Since he did all the NFL,
I would rather. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd rather watch Seth on Good Morning Football. I'd rather watch him go have a match with Manti Te'o on Good Morning Football than go against.
By the way, that right hand was clean.
What's this Bronson Reed hate all about? You know, we're not going to get into this.
You're talking about. We had a whole discussion about what is not deemed a Mania match. That ain't no Mania match.
Sorry, that's a Mania match. It's not a Mania main event match. It's a Mania match. Are you kidding me? Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed have been rivals for 3 years. Seth Rollins trusted Bronson Reed. He brought him into his faction. And what did he do? He stabbed him in the back the first chance he got. Bronson Reed defeated Roman Reigns, defeated the Tribal Chief because of Seth Rollins.
None of that matters now.
The minute Bronson Reed could backstab Seth Rollins, he did. That's a WrestleMania match.
It's not fun anymore.
Bronson Reed got hypothermia right now, guys. He's so cold. He's shivering. Ooh, I can't even feel my bones. That's how he feels right now.
Dude, even Stevie Wonder can't see the vision.
Yeah, man. There's a lack of vision, man. They're impaired.
There is a lack of vision. I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. I'm not defending this faction. I'm defending Bronson Reed right now. I'm not even a Bronson Reed guy.
I love Bronson Reed. That's my twin, bro. He's my
great.
fellow. I'm not Samoan, but I might as well be Samoan, right? At this point, like I like him. I just don't think he feels like as important from the booking standpoint in the vision. Like the dude literally beat Roman Reigns and
in the vision.
He was
Okay,
following the
we're-
vision. He was never a part of the
You're not
vision
hearing-
Dude
itself.
was genuinely on the future endeavored list before the vision. Let's not act like he was some
Oh,
important
whoa,
thing.
whoa,
He
that was
wasn't.
years ago. You're trying to put him
Bro,
back
that's-
on it.
I'm talking about from several months ago to now.
Okay,
Like,
I
if
agree
you-
with that.
Getting a victory over Roman Reigns is supposed to catapult you to a higher status in the main event scene, the company, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that. I thought
No.
Bronson should be pushed as the main event guy before Braun Breaker. I'm on record saying that.
You are. I
So-
disagreed, but it was possible. The thing is, Seth's injury, back to Clark's point, is the issue with this because right now, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were meant to be tag team champions and meant to have destroyed everybody. Main event stars forming tag teams were trying to defeat them and failing. That was what was meant to be the direction. Seth got hurt. They were like, well, okay, we can only choose one of them right now. Let's choose Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed hasn't been taking pins. He hasn't lost a single match, I don't think, since then. He's fine.
Just
He's
steam.
not
It's
good.
just the steam.
He's fine. But
He
anyway,
hasn't lost the match, just the steam.
we can talk about this all day. Shard, I want to know, what is your take of the week?
Trick Williams will be the next Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You are hearing it first, ladies and gentlemen. I see the biggest star of the entire company when I see this guy step out in his lemon pepper steppers. I see someone that can hold the SmackDown program just like The Rock did on a week-to-week basis whenever he cuts a fiery promo, whenever he's going on anybody bar for bar on the mic. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this guy was going to reach high places as soon as he was going to get to the main roster. But I will even tell myself, I didn't see the trajectory this high. There's nothing unintentional with his booking. The fact that this guy is already mixing it up with the likes of Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, out the gate being called up. Nobody from an NXT call-up is doing what he's doing. Not Obafemi, not what Braun Breaker did, not what Roxanne Perez did, not what Javon Evans did. None of them. This guy is somebody that the company sees as a next level star. He reminds me of a attitude era wrestler in the modern day. But guess what? It works. It's nothing that feels out of the ordinary. It doesn't feel like he's misplaced. The fact that he has this much aura, that he's this strong of a character, that he can cut promos this well, and then he looks like an absolute star. This feels like The Rock. And for that, I think we got our next big star in the WWE, guys.
I'm going to be honest. When I saw him in NXT, even towards the end of his NXT run, even after he won the NXT title, even when he won the TNA title, I feared, and it was after Melo I feared this, that he was going to go to the main roster and he was going to be stuck in the upper mid card. He was going to be a great upper mid card guy and he would have main event feuds, but he was never going to be the guy. He was just going to be somebody in and around that main event scene. This dude's been on the main roster for a month and a half now, and he's already one of the most over stars. I mean, this dude is probably, very possibly, going to be world champion by this time next year. He genuinely could be. That is how over he has gotten. Rock, that's a big claim to make. Massive, massive claim. But the fact is, compared to anyone else right now, sure, you can make it. Fair enough.
I'm with Shad on this one. And here's the other thing. Tuesday nights, it's interesting because, Ben, I heard what you said there, and I understand the Carmelo Hayes stuff. Being paired alongside Carmelo Hayes, Hayes has quite a bit of charisma, but not like Trick did.
Exactly. That's what I mean. The second
Never like
Trick
Trick did. Trick stood out as his lackey. And I've always believed between the pro athlete aspect of it and the level of work ethic that goes into that, as on top of the natural charisma and the natural ability to stand on a big stage and be unafraid, because he had to take shots. He had to take opportunities when he was coming up in NXT. I've always had this weird feeling that he'd be one of those, I don't want to say prospects that we missed, because we didn't miss Trick Williams. We strongly covered him over the last few years and how great he was in NXT, but that his ceiling was higher than we set it at. It was just a notch. It's a couple stories, right? He's a skyscraper, not a 3-story house when it comes to his ceiling. He's got to stay in the elevator and it's on the way up 100%. But at the end of the day, I think that's the most impressive thing about Trick Williams to me is he continues to improve almost every time he goes out. And even if he has a low point, he responds to that almost every time with something tighter and better and makes more sense inside of his own booking. Because yes, he's had favorable booking since he's been moved up to the main roster, no doubt. Probably based on crowd reaction. We can only speculate on that, basically, right? But if you look at it in NXT, at one point he was legitimately just Melo's lackey, and he stood out then. So he's taking advantage of every big opportunity, every small opportunity, every little minute that he gets. He continues to do so, and I think that's the most impressive thing about Trick Williams to me.
Do you guys want a hot take? And Shad, I think you're going to like this. Trick Williams is who LA Knight thinks he is. Trick Williams is who LA Knight fans think LA Knight is. This guy has all the charisma of LA Knight, but he's actually a better promo, and he is certainly a better worker. He's younger than LA Knight is. He's got higher potential than LA Knight. Quite frankly, guys, I'm sorry. LA Knight stocks have crashed because of Trick Williams. This is the guy, not LA Knight.
I got him over. I got Trick. I think Trick has more in his toolbox than LA Knight and Jey Uso combined, honestly. Sure. I mean, there are people that question his in-ring ability, but I'm glad all three of us can kind of disagree to that because he's shown that he can go out there and have incredible singles matches. And guess what? When you're in the main event scene, you're only going to be working with people that are good. So
that's the thing too.
Yeah. So a lot of that, and this is the thing though, to your point with LA Knight, Trick feels authentic. He like the charisma and the like confidence. I think that's the main thing, right? He walks in there, the most confident guy in the room, and that gravitates to everybody in the crowd. That's why people like him so much. And he doesn't, when I say it like an attitude era wrestler, LA Knight, I like him too, and I'm not trying to hate on him or diss him, but you can tell that he's pulling stuff from a Rock and a Stone Cold Steve Austin in his ability, and it seems like he's trying to be like them or trying to impersonate them. Trick, I'm not saying he talks like The Rock or trying to act like The Rock, but he's got that same feel to him. I remember, like, I mean, Clark, you can attest, and you can even attest to from seeing it recently. Like, I used to love seeing backstage segments Rock just frying whoever, right?
It feels like it feels like The Rock's rise, where we didn't quite realize it yet.
That's a good comparison.
In like a unique way where it's like, wait a minute, he did it again. Like even, I mean, remember like Jericho's debut was supposed to be about Chris Jericho. The Rock carried that segment. Chris just turned around after the countdown ended. Right? And then the promo happened. Trick continues to do that kind of stuff over and over again in his backstage segments. And it's like, I'm not saying he's going to Hollywood or anything like that, but former football player, former athlete, remarkably charismatic and willing to work on his craft and overcome early criticism. All of those things are similar, and all of those things make sense to me. If Trick wants to go to Hollywood down the road, it's in the cards.
Can do it.
Maybe. I think, though, again, I know you guys hate the age thing. I think Trick is a bit older than The Rock was too, which I think might be a factor there. I don't know. No, it is. Sorry, that is a factor
right now. So
that is, yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. He's younger than LA Knight. He's good. He's ready now for that main roster scene. Here's though, I want to quickly go back to it for a second, Shad, to what you said, because that was a really good point. I thought. LA Knight feels like he was playing The Rock, playing Stone Cold Steve Austin, whereas Trick, it does feel authentic. It does feel like that is really him. And maybe that's what it translates better too, but he's younger, he wrestles better, he talks better, he looks better. I feel bad for LA Knight. I really, really do, because all he has over him is a yeah chant. That's it.
I unfortunately do feel like LA Knight is kind of reached the tippy top of what he can do at this point. I don't think we'll see him in the main event scene, or he will be part of main event feuds, like you mentioned, how you kind of saw Trick as like an upper mid card guy, but that's kind of who he is. And like honestly, he's the unfortunate thing is this: he's home. this ain't working anywhere else. Like maybe TNA, he'll be the top guy, but like, what does that
Yeah.
mean to you? If he was to hypothetically go to AEW, he would struggle immensely.
Oh, yeah.
Drake.
Immensely.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
He's
fact
not good
that
enough for AEW in terms of what they look for in a wrestler.
he ain't gonna be able to work with them, bro. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he'll be winded. Imagine him having to like go in the ring with a Takeshita or a Fletcher. He gonna be like, I need my inhaler. Like, I don't need a gas.
He's going to be like Jey Uso, just out of breath for halfway into the match. But guys, it is now time to do our faction of the week. Let's kick things off with match of the week. And I'm going to AEW, and I'm going to be going to AEW a lot in this segment, but I'm picking Kyle Fletcher versus Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, this guy, Ciampa, to be honest, first of all, he is Takeover Tommaso is back. He really is. This is him back in his prime. In fact, maybe better than ever. But yeah, that's my match of the week.
It was a heck of a match from Ciampa, but I am definitely going with Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. Fellow Kyle Fletcher match, but the ladder match on Collision I thought was outstanding. Hometown victory, best of 7 series I enjoyed start to finish.
Absolutely. I do hope, though, that was the last match now.
Same.
Ben, I'm picking the same match as you, man. Kyle Fletcher, Tommaso Ciampa. This is potentially TV match of the year thus far, and maybe a early contender for match of the year in 2026. Banger.
Ooh, big call. As for Talker, Shad, I'm going for someone. I'm reading the wrong one. As for standout, Shad, I'm going for somebody who you already mentioned in the last segment, and that is Trick Williams. This guy, he stands out in every segment. He's in every show he's on. He is incredible right now.
For my standout, I've got Timeless Toni Storm. She kept her hair in her home country of Australia, and I think that's really important to note.
I'm going to go to TNA, and I know that's a bit of a shock, but I'm going with Trey Miguel getting a big-time win over Stacks, getting crowned as a champion, and having Teddy Swims with him. I did not know that they were friends, but that alone is so awesome. So happy for Trey, man. He feels rejuvenated and in a good mental headspace. Got him as my standout.
Fantastic pick. As for Talker of the Week, I'm going to go for Kenny Omega. I'm going to be honest, there was not many good promo segments in wrestling this week. There really wasn't, but Kenny and Swerve had a brilliant one, so I'm just about going to give it to Kenny here.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman just had the best press tour in the history of press tours in Australia. Funny accents, food doesn't taste good. Kangaroos, really, if you avoid the kick, you can choke them from behind. The quotes were off the charts. Max deserves it this week. I can't believe you give Kenny Talker of the Week. I gave him back-to-back Talkers of the Week months ago, and he finally wins one for you, but Max was by far the Talker of the Week this week.
Will allow it, but I think it's not on a wrestling show. I understand he stays in kayfabe, but it's not on a wrestling show.
He made them wrestling shows. Go back and watch them.
Promoted them.
How often do you watch wrestling news?
Okay. Going with Trick Williams for my Talk of the Week. I love the promo that he cut on Friday. Just completely going on Sami Zayn and saying he smells like a bunch of back that bleep up word the juvenile. It was funny, man. So I got Trick.
Fair enough. As for tag team of the week, I'm gonna give it to Babes of Wrath. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think their match at Grand Slam Australia was amazing. I thought at this point they probably should have lost the titles. But the fact is they are fun. I do enjoy watching them. And also it wasn't a good week for tag team wrestling again. I'm saying that every week, but it's not.
I'm with you on the tag team wrestling side, and I'm also with you on my pick. Give me the Babes of Wrath as well.
There we are.
Okay, well, I'm actually going to go to NXT Tuesday Night Gang on this one, and I'm going to pick Zaruka as my tag team of the week. So, still in a pin from Zarya. She's going to be the number one contender, but I really, really like the match between her and the Ren QCC. Certified banger.
Absolutely. As for show of the week, shock. I'm going to AEW. They had two great shows this week, but for me, the better one was AEW Grand Slam Australia. I didn't think it was as good as last year's. I truly didn't. I didn't think it was as good as Grand Slam Mexico either. But I still thought it was a very good show and my personal show of the week.
I've got bases loaded and a home run. Give me Grand Slam Australia myself as well, Ben. No doubt about it.
I'm going with AEW, but I'm going with Dynamite. I mean, the fact that we had Ciampa and Fletcher and then Tekla versus Chris Statlander, those were two of my favorite matches of the entire week. I got to go with Dynamite.
Fair enough. Well, a clean sweep for AEW when it comes to show of the week, but will it be a clean sweep for them when it comes to promotion? Well, for me, they are easily my promotion of the week.
Not even close. Samesies. AEW in Ontario, then Australia. Two great shows this week. Got to give them credit where it's due.
AEW's had a phenomenal week. Two incredible shows, and then also two incredible signings this week. Picking up Lena Cross as well as the Ike Inspiration.
The amount of who comments, by the way, we got in that post, I was shocked about. Like, come on, let's not act like they're not stars here, because the Iconics are fantastic. The Iconics had a great run in WWE. They had a solid run in TNA Wrestling, and right now AEW has a new women's tag team division. A lot of great teams, but a lot of great makeshift teams.
And then
they've
plus,
got a couple now.
Fun fact: there's a rostered woman in AEW that sings their theme song, Harley Cameron.
Yeah, they're the Harley Cameron link too. But I mean, look, AEW have signed some actual tag teams in recent months, right, as well. So I'm not saying they're all makeshift tag teams, but it's a lot of makeshift tag teams. And we know from WWE's booking, makeshift tag teams making up a division is not sustainable. Bringing in people like the Inspiration is going to be what builds the AEW Women's Tag Team division long term. And talking about women's tag teams, my personal favorite women's tag team in AEW is the Sisters of Sin, who, of course, in the triangle of whatever it's called, are partnered with Tekla. Tekla is my women's wrestler of the week, winning the AEW Women's Championship way quicker than I expected her to win it, and it is so well deserved. Right now, the work Tekla is doing is absolutely fantastic, and she is a worthy women's champion. Again, I'm shocked at how quickly it happened, but the fact is, it has happened, and she is my women's wrestler of the week.
Give me the best wrestler on the planet right now with the word toxic in their catchphrase. Give me Tekla, the toxic spider.
Excuse you?
Take that, Ben.
Actually,
Women's World Champion.
Kit Wilson is a feminist, so he would actually love that. He'd say, absolutely, give Tekla all the praise you want. Because
He's
Kit
not an
Wilson is a great
feminist.
guy.
He's
not an Oba feminist. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's because Obafemi is toxic.
Hey, listen, he's the ruler, okay? He's the ruler.
ruler.
I got Tekla as well, man. Tekla is so darn good. Like, I love her shtick. I love how she just comes out there. She's a little rock star as our champ. I'm hyped for her, man. Let's go, Tekla.
And as for my men's wrestler of the week, guys, I'm going to be honest. I am smelling another clean sweep here because somebody has had an incredible week. And I can tell you guys that because look at the top row for a second.
Just type it all for three of us right now. Just copy
Match of the week.
Easy.
Fletcher Ciampa, Fletcher Briscoe, Fletcher Ciampa. It's got to be Carl Fletcher. This man is incredible.
This has been one of the best weeks from a professional wrestler I've seen in quite a while. The fact that he has potentially 2 matches of the week from us, yeah, dog. Kyle Fletcher is here. I cannot wait for him to become the AEW champion at some point. He's like probably my favorite wrestler in the entire company. Maybe my favorite in-ring wrestler right now in pro wrestling, dog.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Very potentially.
He's been great. But give me Hangman Adam Page because despite Kyle Fletcher's excellent week, Hangman is the #1 contender for Maxwell Jacob Friedman's title at a show that I will be attending in the city of Los Angeles, the city of angels. And I can't wait for that.
Show,
okay,
bro.
respectfully. No,
won.
actually, respectfully, why?
The match that mattered. Hangman won the match that mattered the most. most this week against Andrade.
He
And
cheated.
everybody and their mother had Andrade picked.
He
They
cheated.
had
No, they didn't.
Andrade winning last night. Yes, they did.
Everyone and their mother had Hangman Page winning. That
No,
was the entire hate going into this show. That
No.
everybody thought Hangman was going to win, and it was too predictable.
and he won.
And he did.
Take that.
No,
He
yeah, lose
also
my
won
number. Lose
my
my number.
men's
Clark. We're not friends,
wrestler
bro.
of the week. So deal with it.
Are we sure Clark doesn't judge on UFC shows? Because that is one of those.
Sal D'Amato, shout out.
Anyway,
It's
that
like the
does
worst judge of all
bring us
time.
to the end of the podcast, I
Never
guess.
been more disgusted by you, Clark Taylor.
It's horrific. It really is. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Before we finish, got a quick message for you guys, because I meant to do this earlier in the show, to be honest, and I forgot to do it, so I'll do it now. It's all good. Quick programming update here at Wrestling Republic. At least for the time being, what we are going to be doing is Tuesday until Fridays, it's going to be Good Morning Wrestling fans every day, 2 p.m. Eastern time. The video will be posted. That's what? Sorry, 2 p.m., not 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. It will be, I believe that's correct. Every single day, so you can check that out. The daily broadcast normal time every single day then as well, so 2 videos every single day from us. And then of course on Mondays, the Wrestling Republic podcast at 2 p.m. UK time, and whatever the hell that is in the rest of the world. I believe 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. But that, guys, does bring us to the end of
3
the show.
a.m. in
Thank you,
Hawaii.
Shad. Thank you, Clark, for that translation, and we will see you guys next week. Ba 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 ba. Peace.